Imagine walking into your favorite restaurant only to discover that beneath its welcoming glow, hidden pain and injustice are unfolding. One evening, Keanu Reeves, the unassuming owner of Haven in Metro City, made a surprise visit and uncovered a secret that would forever change the lives of his staff. Where are you watching from? Let us know in the comments and be sure to subscribe to Timeless Stories for more unforgettable narratives. Welcome to Timeless Stories, where we share true accounts of resilience, compassion, and the transformative power of empathy. Today's story reveals how one quiet, determined act of leadership turned fear into hope and injustice into a new beginning. It was a clear, mild night in Metro City when Keanu Reeves decided to drop in at Haven, a restaurant he had poured his heart into. Known far and wide not only for his film career, but also for his genuine acts of kindness, Keanu had always believed that success meant caring for every single person who contributed to that success. Haven wasn't designed to be an exclusive club for the elite. Rather, it was meant to be a welcoming haven for families, couples on a first date, and travelers in search of quality local cuisine. Every detail, from the cozy decor to the emphasis on fair treatment of employees, was a testament to his vision of creating a community space built on respect and integrity. Despite his busy schedule filled with film projects, meetings, and charity work, Keanu made it a point to visit Haven incognito. He believed that blending in with the crowd was the best way to get an honest glimpse of what was really happening behind the scenes. Dressed in a simple hoodie, jeans, and sneakers, he would slip through the front door without fanfare, taking a seat among the ordinary diners and observe the subtle dynamics that numbers or formal reports could never reveal. On this particular Friday evening, around 7 p.m., Haven was abuzz with the lively hum of conversations, clinking cutlery, and the warm light of softly lit chandeliers. Guests laughed and shared stories while the aroma of freshly baked bread and sautéed garlic filled the air. At first glance, everything seemed perfectly in place, until Keanu sensed an undercurrent of tension that disrupted the usual harmony. As he strolled through the dining room, Keanu noticed that despite the cheerful chatter, there was an odd stiffness in the movements of some staff members. A hostess greeted guests with a courteous smile, but her eyes hinted at weariness. The energy of the room, while outwardly busy and efficient, carried a palpable strain, as if every smile was hiding a story of silent suffering. Drawn by his instinct, Keanu followed the sound of a muffled cry coming from a narrow corridor near the staff break room. There, he paused by a slightly ajar door and peered in. In the dim light, he saw a young waitress, her face marked by red, tear-filled eyes, clutching the edge of a metal counter as if it were her only support. Beside her, a young colleague, whose face was etched with worry and conflict, tried to comfort her. Their hushed conversation drifted through the gap. "I can't refuse. He'll reduce my hours. You shouldn't have to live like this. It's not right." Hearing these words, Keanu felt his heart tighten. He knew too well that in many workplaces, power imbalances could lead to exploitation. The unmistakable sound of despair compelled him to dig deeper into what was happening at Haven. Retreating back into the main dining area, Keanu found a quiet spot at the bar. There, he casually ordered a glass of water and struck up a conversation with the bartender, Oliver. With a careful tone, he inquired about the night's events, asking if the staff seemed overworked or if there was any unusual behavior among them. Oliver replied with measured politeness, "We're managing all right. It's busy, but nothing out of the ordinary," though his eyes betrayed a hint of unease that did not match his words. Unsatisfied with the brief responses, Keanu's attention turned to the restaurant's floor manager, Derek Mason, a stern figure in a navy blue shirt who moved with an air of rigid control. Derek's manner was methodical and severe, his eyes occasionally darting in a way that suggested he was constantly on alert for any hint of defiance among the staff. Keanu's instincts told him that something was very wrong with the way Derek interacted with his team. In an effort to gather more details without drawing attention, Keanu approached a nearby server station. There he engaged a young man, whom he would later learn was called Jordan, in a casual manner. Under the guise of borrowing a pen, Keanu subtly mentioned that he had overheard someone crying in the break room. The young server's eyes widened with anxiety before he leaned in and whispered, "It's Rachel, the waitress in the back room. She's terrified. Derek keeps calling her into his office late at night, and if she doesn't do as he says, he threatens to slash her hours. She needs the paycheck too badly to risk speaking out. Before Keanu could delve further, Derek Mason himself appeared, his sharp gaze scanning the room. With a forced, courteous smile, Derek approached Keanu and asked if he needed assistance finding a table. Recognizing the danger of pushing the issue in front of everyone, Keanu returned the smile and assured him he was fine. Yet behind that polite facade, Keanu's mind was racing. He now had enough evidence to know that the hidden cry of distress was part of a larger pattern of abuse within his own establishment. Taking a moment to collect his thoughts, Keanu stepped outside into the gentle metro city night. The cool air and the passing headlights provided a brief respite from the turmoil inside. As he stood on the sidewalk, he discreetly recorded notes on his phone, determined to document every detail before confronting the situation head-on. It wasn't long before Oliver, the bartender, joined him outside for a short break. Seizing the opportunity, Keanu quietly asked Oliver how long Derek had been in charge. Oliver hesitated for a moment, glancing nervously back at the restaurant, then admitted, "Derek's been here a while, but it's only recently that his behavior has become toxic. He targets those who can't afford to lose their job." The weight of Oliver's words hit Keanu hard. Rachel was not alone. The exploitation ran deeper than he had imagined. Returning to the interior of Haven, Keanu moved through the dining area with a new sense of purpose. The dinner rush was tapering off, and the once bustling restaurant now had a more subdued atmosphere. His eyes were drawn to Rachel, who was finishing up a table with a forced smile that barely concealed her inner pain. Determined to help, Keanu carefully approached her as she collected the used dishes, ensuring that the manager's watchful presence wouldn't catch them together. Gently tapping her shoulder, Keanu introduced himself simply as a friend who cares. Rachel's face went pale, her eyes darting around to check if Derek was nearby. In a trembling whisper, she admitted that she felt trapped by the manager's relentless demands. Before she could say more, Derek appeared, his tone accusatory as he demanded to know if Rachel was neglecting her duties. The tension in the air thickened immediately. In that charged moment, Keanu realized that he could no longer stand by silently. With calm resolve, he reached into his back pocket and produced a small leather wallet, the unmistakable emblem of his ownership of Haven. Clearing his throat, he spoke in a firm yet measured tone. "My name is Keanu Reeves, and I own this restaurant." A stunned silence fell over the room. Rachel's eyes widened in disbelief as whispers rippled among the staff and curious diners leaned forward, trying to piece together the unfolding drama. Derek's earlier smirk evaporated, replaced by a look of shock and apprehension as he stammered excuses about a misunderstanding and downplayed the situation. But Keanu's voice, imbued with quiet authority and empathy, cut through the tension. "I have seen enough to know that something is deeply wrong here," he declared. In that instant, the dynamic shifted. Employees, emboldened by the presence of their true leader, began to speak up. Jordan recounted how Derek had repeatedly cornered Rachel in his office, while another staff member revealed that similar tactics had been used to force compliance from others. A cook from behind the kitchen counter nodded in agreement, mentioning that he had seen Rachel leave work late, her face streaked with tears, only to reappear shaken and defeated. Derek tried to defend himself, insisting that he was merely enforcing discipline and maintaining standards. But Keanu's calm yet piercing gaze left no room for excuses. "There is a difference between maintaining quality and abusing your power," he said firmly. Turning to Rachel, he asked in a gentle but clear voice, "Do you feel safe here, or do you feel threatened?" Her tearful nod spoke volumes. She was trapped in a system where fear outweighed fairness. The room seemed to hold its collective breath as Keanu continued. "Effective immediately, Derek. Your time here is over. I will not allow anyone in my establishment to be treated this way." With that, he instructed Derek to gather his belongings and leave. The manager's protests fell on deaf ears as the employees, emboldened by Keanu's support, began to show their relief, some even exchanging hugs and relieved smiles in a moment of long-awaited solidarity. As Derek exited in a flurry of confused accusations, Keanu took a moment to address the entire staff. With heartfelt sincerity, he apologized for not uncovering these issues sooner and reassured them that changes would be implemented immediately. This restaurant is more than just a business. It is a community built on trust, respect, and kindness. From this day forward, your voices matter, he declared. Employees expressed their gratitude in tearful, whispered thanks, and a sense of unity filled the space that had long been marred by fear. Soon a few customers who had witnessed the confrontation offered soft applause. They might not have known all the details, but they understood that something profoundly just had taken place. Rachel, who had been the silent victim of Derek's coercion, now stood a little taller, her eyes reflecting both the sorrow of past hardships and the spark of newfound hope. Jordan placed a reassuring hand on her shoulder as she managed a small, grateful smile. Later that evening, as Haven gradually quieted and the last of the guests departed, Keanu made his rounds to speak with each member of his team, from the line cooks and dishwashers to the servers, bartenders, and hosts. He listened intently as they recounted small but significant instances of mistreatment, unfair shift allocations, missed breaks, and constant pressure to conform to unreasonable demands. Each story reinforced his resolve to make tangible improvements, such as establishing transparent scheduling systems and creating a direct line for reporting any further misconduct. That night marked a turning point. While Haven had been conceived as a sanctuary for good food and warm company, it now became a symbol of true leadership and the power of empathy. Keanu's actions had transformed a culture of silence and fear into one of open communication and mutual respect. His message was clear. Leadership isn't about asserting power. It's about protecting and empowering those who put their trust in you. Driving home later through the softly lit streets of Metro City, Keanu reflected on the events of the evening. He recalled a conversation with a fellow entrepreneur who once warned that too much kindness could lead to complacency. Keanu, however, knew that genuine care breeds loyalty and trust. The courage of his employees, who had risked everything by speaking out, had reaffirmed his belief that true strength lies in compassion. The night's ordeal served as a reminder that even a single act of intervention can create ripples of change far beyond the confines of a single restaurant. The moral of this story resonates far beyond the walls of Haven. It is a timeless reminder that when we see injustice, no matter how small it may seem, we have the power and responsibility to stand up for what is right. In every sphere of life, whether at work, in our communities, or even within our families, listening to the silent cries for help and acting with empathy can transform despair into hope. As we close this chapter of timeless stories, think about the power you hold in your own life. What would you do if you witnessed an injustice, whether in your workplace or elsewhere? Would you speak up or would you remain silent? We invite you to share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Let us know where you're watching from, and if this story has touched your heart, please like and subscribe for more inspiring narratives. Remember, leadership is not about titles or positions. It's about the willingness to see and act upon the truth, to care for those who might otherwise be forgotten. Whether you are managing a small team or simply looking out for someone in need, your kindness can spark change and light the way for others. Thank you for joining us on Timeless Stories. May this account of courage and compassion inspire you to be the light in someone else's darkness. Until next time, stay inspired, stand up for what is right, and always remember, every act of kindness, no matter how small, makes our world a better place. If this story moved you, consider spreading kindness today. Share this video with someone who might need a reminder that true leadership and empathy can transform lives. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to Timeless Stories, and leave your thoughts in the comments. Your voice matters, and together we can build a community where every story is a call to action for a brighter tomorrow. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video with another real-life narrative that proves hope, compassion, and moral courage are alive and well in our world.